This is episode 3 of Better Than Impact. I am sitting here with Drew, Reed, Jason, Tony, myself, Matt, and we are exhilarated because the latest edition of Summer Slam is in the books. And needless to say, it was definitely shocking. We're going to give you our opinions on what we saw and kind of a look into the future in our own eyes. This edition of Summer Slam took place in Los Angeles for what has to be the 3rd or 4th straight year. I don't know. They may have I've heard they've had a contract with them, so SummerSlam is going to be a Los Angeles tradition. We started the show off by noticing that Jim Ross was missing from ringside. Thankfully for us, Booker T was there.
Jeff Jarrett was not there, so it couldn't have been a stroke.
It was a stroke. Another one.
Horrible. Strokes only occur with Jeff Jarrett's around.
12. I know it was Cold King. I know it was.
Needless to say, Jeff Jarrett's finishing move is not responsible for Jim Ross's medical problems, so let's just erase that. Or Bret Hart's. Yeah, that was a motorcycle. Lucky for us, we had this banter going on, so we weren't able to pay attention to Booker T. Needless to say, the show started off with an unannounced match where they basically put 3 feuds together and just got them out of the way with a 6-man tag. The Miz, Alberto Del Rio, and R-Truth versus Rey Mysterio, John Morrison, and Kofi Kingston. Rey Mysterio gets the pinfall with a springboard body splash over R-Truth as his possible conspiracy and arachnophobia continues. Reed, I'm going to start with you. Do you think this was a welcome addition to this card? What are your thoughts on what we're going to do with these 6 men involved? I mean, later on we'll discuss what happened with Del Rio, but we have Mysterio, we have Morrison, we have Kingston, who have all seemingly been, as we said earlier, in kind of a treadmill mode, especially Kofi Kingston. Miz and R-Truth, there may be a faction forming. Your thoughts on this match?
It seems like Yakety Sax was playing in the booking room when they wrote this thing, because it just seems like they threw it all together at the last minute because they don't have any damn idea what to do with these guys. It was entertaining. I'd like to see a Miz R-Truth faction. Loved the segment they had with R-Truth later on in the night, by the way. I'm not a fan of the person he appeared with. I'm sure we'll cover that on down the line. It just seemed very hastily put together. It's something you could have really pushed and done something good with, and you were taking 6 superstars and basically just making them very vanilla, I thought.
I hear them shouting.
We all do.
I hear them crying.
It looks like a reject from Cool Runnings.
But he took away the pineapple upside down cake short, so. But
Dougie
he's
Doug
kind of matching with Mysterio.
Dougie Doug should be his manager. The sad thing is nobody out there in YouTube land knows who the hell Dougie Doug is.
They should, dude.
They should, yeah, but they
He was
don't.
in House Party, the PG version.
He was also in the
Class Act.
He was the motivation for Kofi Kingston's look.
It
Class
was
Act
also-
was a great movie to never.
was the PG-13 version of House Party.
It was awesome, dude. Blade Brown.
It was typical 6-man tag team opener just to kind of get the crowd popping. I mean, I wish they would have done a singles match with any combination of these guys, but I digress. We were then followed by a backstage promo where CM Punk was talking to John Laurinaitis, or as we've rechristened him, Super Dave 2. Somehow John Laurinaitis looks and sounds just like Super Dave.
Another lost reference out there
that
in
was
YouTube land.
After CM Punk gave a less than cordial apology, he was confronted by Stephanie McMahon, who actually wished Triple H luck, extended her hand, and CM Punk refused to shake it. Quote, "I would, but I know where that hand's been."
I'm the new Chris Jericho. See this week's WrestleCrap induction to understand what I'm talking about there.
Following that, we had probably the most built-up undercard match, Mark Henry versus the newly faced Sheamus.
It's that time of year again. We're going to try to force Mark Henry down your throat. We've been doing it every year now since 1998. You know it's coming. You turn off the TV every time it happens.
I think it's working better than it has.
Mark Henry's in my throat now.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jason, let me get your opinion on this. Since Mark Henry's lodged deeply in your throat, I'm going to ask you, Mark Henry gets the victory with a count-out by slamming Sheamus into the guard mat, whatever they call it now. It was a count-out victory. Is Mark Henry next in line for a push? Is Mark Henry going to get a title match? You said you're a fan of Mark Henry. Tell me why Mark Henry this time resonates in your mind as something that you want to see.
He doesn't need a push, but he just needs to beat up little guys all over because that's all he can do. Nobody can do moves to him because he's too big.
A gimmick that would be perfect for Mark Henry is like the bodyguard gimmick like they used to do with Diesel and with Sid when he first came in. He'd be perfect for that. Make him like a bodyguard for R-Truth or something like that. It'd work perfect for the guy. Because little Jimmy's out there and little Jimmy's trying to stab you in the back at any moment. That's why.
Mark Henry's destroyed Kane and Big Show. Why would he go after little Jimmy now?
Well,
It'd be funny.
He would digress in Jimmyism.
Dude, it'd be funny to watch Mark Henry splash a little kid. Or Hornswoggle.
I think we need to see Mark Henry take out Hornswoggle.
I think
I
we do
agree with
too. Money match right
They had
there.
that promo where they were like, SummerSlam comes to LA, and everybody was talking, and Hornswoggle was there. Why is he still there?
He moves merchandise, and he is huge on NXT. He's actually managed to get Titus O'Neil over. Drew actually refuses to watch NXT because it's broadcast over the internet. Does this feud with Sheamus and Mark Henry continue?
Yes, definitely.
This seems kind of like an anti-bullying storyline that they're going that kind of goes with their star.
He could fight Mark Henry first and push him crazy face, and then take on Wade Barrett because England doesn't like Scotland anyway, so that would be pretty good.
There's always that. It's a geography lesson of the day.
Son of a whore! I'm just sorry, force of habit.
Freedom! Following that, we had the sleep-inducing two-song performance by CeeLo Green.
CeeLo Green was a member of Goody Mob, and they were the shit. And Dungeon Family was the shit. CeeLo Green's first two albums were really good because he rapped and sang. This one kind of sucked, but that's my info on CeeLo Green.
He actually kind of finished his performance with a kind of cunnilingus gesture towards the crowd as well.
We know what him and the Bella Twins were doing later on that night.
The Bella Twins are big fans of whoever they bring on that show.